I'm Susan Epperly. Welcome to another edition of our Clinical Massage Therapy vlog. This vlog entry comes from an article that I wrote for our November 2009 email newsletter. This article was the 5th installment of our Need Some Answers series. You can read other installments of our Need Some Answers series by visiting the archived newsletter page of our website, which you'll see below. Or you can respond to the content of this vlog by going to our Facebook fan page at this address, clicking on our Discussions tab, and selecting the discussion topic titled, "So what is trigger point therapy anyway?" The question is, what is trigger point therapy and how can it help me? This is a great question because having studied trigger point therapy so extensively, we can tend to fall into the trap of assuming that everyone else knows what we're talking about when we start to talk about trigger points. And of course, doing so doesn't help our clients understand what's going on in their bodies and can ultimately leave them even more confused than when they came in. Sometimes we need to take a few steps back and provide a basic explanation of what trigger point therapy is. Trigger point therapy is employed to address chronic muscular dysfunction and relieve very specific pain complaints. Having dedicated 290 hours of study exclusively to trigger point therapy at the renowned Texas Healing Arts Institute in Austin, Texas, we are both highly qualified trigger point therapists. Developed and documented by President John F. Kennedy's personal physician, Janet Travell, MD, trigger point therapy involves identifying and releasing trigger points in dysfunctional muscles as indicated by telltale sensations, including pain, tingling, numbness, etc., in specific pain referral zones, which often extend far beyond the actual trigger point. A qualified trigger point therapist has studied the locations within specific muscles where trigger points are likely to form, the pain referral zones that correspond to each trigger point, other unique sensations that may be produced by certain trigger points, including tingling, numbness, heaviness, burning, etc., and various techniques that are effective in releasing trigger points. While the manual release of trigger points can, in the short term, exacerbate their inherently exquisite tenderness, clients generally find the longer-term pain relief, increased range of motion, and improved quality of life to be well worth any discomfort that may accompany a trigger point therapy session. Muscles that are inhibited by trigger points, which can, for simplicity's sake, be called knots, are not able to function normally. They are often prevented from stretching and/or contracting optimally and are often rendered weak and dysfunctional by the presence of the trigger points. Dissolving the trigger points in muscles allow the muscles to function more optimally, which will ideally facilitate muscular balance and proper posture. Ample amounts of water must be consumed following a trigger point therapy session in order to facilitate the removal of the significant metabolic waste products that the dissolved trigger points release into the bloodstream. Otherwise, bruising and soreness may result. If you'd like to read more about the history of trigger point therapy, go to the address that appears here to read an informative article on the Pittsburgh School of Pain Management's website. The article by John Zlatic originally appeared in Back to Health magazine in June of 1989. Hopefully this will have cleared up any confusion that you may have had about trigger point therapy and what it can do for you as a massage client. And for our fellow massage therapists out there, we hope that this may help you better explain to your clients what trigger point therapy is all about. Thanks for joining us for this edition of our Clinical Massage Therapy vlog. Be sure to join us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, where we discuss all kinds of topics related to the practice and business of clinical massage therapy. And to keep updated on new vlog entries, subscribe to our YouTube channel, which you'll find by searching for Tiger Lily Studios with no spaces on YouTube. Be well and keep in touch.